Hi, good evening, all of you. Hello, good evening, all of you. Hope you are able to view the screen. Hope you are able to get my voice. Please confirm in the chat box so that I can start our today's discussion. Hope I am audible to all of you, right? I am audible to all of you. Please confirm on the in the chat box. I will start our today's discussion. Okay. So let us start our today's discussion on specific with respect to the trending. And my always focus is to tell all people that trend is your friend. So before our today's discussion, a brief about me, Hitendra Kumar Shah. I am a consultant and order from today we are going to discuss trending. So selected this topic. The reason is many companies, or you can say the all are preparing the trend. Okay. The point is they are preparing, but the question is why prepare the trend? If we prepare the trend, then how we should prepare the trend? And third very important thing, most and how to evaluate trend. So what I have collected typical 8 types of trend, and I will discuss that to evaluate these trends. During this presentation, this will cover in the discussion. If you have any questions, I request all of you put questions in the chat box so that at the end of the session, I will consider your all questions in the discussion. Okay, so we will discuss one to one all the questions. So this is clear to all of you. And this on today's topic. Yeah, Mr. Vinod and Mr. Elvaraja, we thank you so much for confirming that yes, we are, you are, I'm all of you. Very good. Let us start our today's discussion. I will the screen of the presentation and let us start our today's discussion. Okay. So basically, our today's topic is how to evaluate trend, because trend is your friend. I always tell this word to all of you, all of the people, because from the when you are auditing any company, you are verifying, evaluating your company or evaluating your product or process, trend plays a very important role. Okay, because you cannot be there for consistently for long period. So based on the trend only you will able to understand how it is working or how it is behaving. So let us start without wasting time our today's discussion on how to evaluate trend, because trend is your friend. Always remember this thing. Okay. So with this, let us discuss what we are going to discuss. So this is our overview, or you can see the training agenda. So first there will be brief about me, know your trainer. Why I am putting this know your trainer topic 2-3 slides here. The reason is most of the companies use this training session as a external training topics, or in their company. So what they do, as this is recorded in the YouTube pre-learning platform, they uh, they put in their company about this training session. They all the people attend this training and they record the training session. So as a external training requirement, they need to have a CV of the trainer. So that is the reason I am putting my couple of pages, couple of slides CV in this module. Okay. Importance of the topic, we will discuss about why it is important, why we need to discuss this point, different regulatory requirements about the trending. So what are the different regulatory requirements, starting from the ICH guideline, US FDA guideline, UGMP guideline, what are the expectations? Basically, when I evaluated all the different guidelines, even in other countries like Germany and Japan and all other countries, MHRA and all other countries guideline also, even Indian guidelines. So more or less all the requirements are similar. So I took some example, because if I started only on discussing about the different regulatory requirements, it will be a very big topic. So that is the reason I selected some crunch from all the different guidelines, and I'm going to discuss here. There are some specific requirements with respect to the reporting to the management. So how the trending can help to report to the management, and is it regulatory requirement, that we are going to discuss further. When we are discussing about the product development, you are aware about that there are the two approach. One is a minimal approach and another is the enhanced approach under the quality by design, QBD. So when we are discussing about the product development under QBD approach, quality by design, there are two approach: minimal approach and enhanced approach. Even under enhanced approach also there is a requirement for QBD, quality by design. So for trending, so that also we will discuss. Under kappa, corrective and preventive actions, of course trending is required. OS, out of specification or out of trending itself, the name indicates out of trend. Trend plays very important role, so that requirements we will go through that. We will discuss about the understanding about the variability. As you are aware about that, most of the companies now focusing on variability. The reason is this is the expectation or the requirements by US FDA. As per FDA, you need to evaluate the variability. So what is meant by variability and how trending will help to evaluate the variability, that we will discuss. After that, how to prepare the trend, you know. So there will be lot of values will be there. So how we can prepare the trend, that we will discuss. And followed by, I have considered some key examples, some key patterns, about, you know, total 8 patterns I have selected, from which we will able try to understand, you know, how to interpret from that pattern, how to interpret about the requirements or how to interpret about the behavioral of the process or product, that we are going to discuss as a part of the evaluation of different trends with some key examples. After that, there will be question answer session. So whatever the questions you have, you can put in the chat box. I will reply to your all questions. And then there will be vote of thanks and contact details. That is what is today's discussion plan. Okay. So before wasting time, this is a brief about me. Again, I am sharing my name. My name is Jitendra Kumar Shah. I am a CGMP compliance consultant, trainer and auditor from NADH plus GXP compliance services. You can pause the video, you can go through the CV if you are interested in more details. I don't waste or put my more time in this, rather than I want to put more time in the learning. So this is a brief, you know, most of the points about the I face a lot of audits and all. Second thing, I just want to inform you, you know, when I am changing the slide here, there will be slight delay. Even when I am speaking, you may feel some delay by, you know, incoming the voice, or, you know, when I'm discussing about the things, you may feel some delay. So don't worry about that. The reason is, you know, I am using the, you know, one interface between the YouTube and my presentation. So that the reason there will be some delay, but don't worry about that. You will understand all the things. Okay. I will ensure that you understand all the things, right? So these are the companies where I work. I started my you know, pharmaceutical journey from with the Sun Pharma. Then I work in the Blue Cross Laboratories. I was in working in the validation in Alembic Pharma. I was a compliance head with the Zydus Cadila. I was a quality head with US Vitamins. I work in multinationals like AstraZeneca, Sanofi, and Mylan also. These are my major work experience. Okay. So let us start our discussion. And before starting the discussion, I just want to put the disclaimer that whatever I am preparing this training, this is only purely for the learning purpose. If you want to implement this in your company or practices, procedures, then please refer the current guideline. Whatever I have prepared this training, it is in line with the current guideline observed today. And also the whatever the literature, I got it from the search. Okay. So if you have any questions, you can ask me openly through the chat box or to the comment section. I will reply to you. But my point is, before implementation, please put your thought process. Okay. Because from company to company, systems are different. So you need not directly implement the things at your end, you please refer the current guideline. Because what happened, this training I am conducting today. Okay, so today is 23rd of December 2023. But this recording will be for long period in the YouTube. So that is the reason I am telling you need to refer the current requirements. Okay. So this is just a brief, and now let us start our discussion topic. And the first topic is guideline requirement. So what is the guideline requirement about the trending? So this is now we will discuss with some couple of slides. So as per ICH Q7 and Utralex Volume 4 Part 2, so both are for GMP for API, active pharmaceutical ingredients. Both these guidelines are for GMP for API. As per this guideline, it is expectation about the trending for complaints. And what we need to consider for trending the complaints is, when we are evaluating the complaints, we have to and we are performing the trend, we have to evaluate with respect to the product related frequency, that how many complaints related to specific product, severity with the view of taking additional and if appropriate immediately corrective actions. All we have to consider when we are considering the trending as per ICH Q7 and Utralex Volume 4. Further, this second paragraph I want to put your focus, because most of the companies are not following this. Quality defect records should be reviewed and trend analysis should be performed regularly for any indication of specific or recurring problems requiring attention. So here, my point here is, when I am discussing this requirement, it is exactly in line with the Utralex Volume 4 Part 1 Chapter 8. Quality defect records should be reviewed and trend analysis should be performed. Now you will ask me the question that what type of quality defects. So the quality defects records includes all the in-process checks. Quality defects records includes all the acceptable quality level checks or ANSI quality checks, or maybe any other 100% inspection record of the products. So whatever the quality defects records, that has to be reviewed and trend analysis should be performed regularly. This is the guideline expectation as per Utralex Volume 4. I am putting here reference also. Most of the company, they don't do the trend analysis of these quality defects. I put this guideline exactly from the, I took this requirement exactly from the guideline. Please understand this thing. During discussion of the guideline requirements, I will again share the thought, my thought about, most of the company where they are complying and where they are not complying. Because I have audited more than 500 sites till date. So based on my experience, I will share you a thought that where the companies are lacking. Okay. So don't consider this only as a theory part about the guideline requirement. I will be further discussing about that where the companies are lacking. Okay. The next requirement is from Utralex Volume 4 Part 1 Chapter 6. It is related to the quality control laboratories. So what is the requirement? A procedure for the investigation of out of specification and out of trend results. Okay, all the companies have this requirement and they follow this practice. Okay, some kinds of data like test data, yield, environment control should be recorded in a manner permitting trend evaluation. Any out of trend or OS data should be addressed and subject to investigation. Okay, this is most of the company are complying because they are having the procedure for out of specification and out of trend investigations, correct? But the next part, what I am going to discuss in the slide, is a key thing. So next part is what, with respect to the same guideline, but something key. Now the first paragraph, you go through this. During testing, this is for quality control laboratories, because the chapter 6 is for quality control laboratories. During testing, the results obtained should be recorded. Okay, this is clear. Results of parameters identified as a quality attribute or as a critical should be trended and checked to make sure that they are consistent with each other. What does it mean? It means that when the quality control laboratory is performing the testing and the results are obtained, that time only, if that results are related to the quality attributes or can be a critical thing, they should trend it that time only, and they should check, the quality control laboratory personnel should check whether they are consistent with each other or not. Most of the quality control laboratory fail to comply these first four lines. What happened? Trending is done, okay, evaluated and all, but it is at the end, when the annual product quality review is prepared. But as most of the company now implemented the continued process verification, maybe during this phase this evaluation may be in the process. Okay, but this point is clear, right? Four lines. During testing, when any result is obtained, that time only they should perform the trending and evaluate whether the results are consistent or not. During ongoing stability study, now this is also the very key requirement. You need to put a thought process here. When we are discussing about the ongoing stability study, means annual stability study, in short, annual stability study. So what we keep in our mind, that one batch for annual stability study should be charged for the stability study requirement, correct? But the requirement as per EU guideline is something different. During ongoing stability study, the number of batches and frequency of testing should provide a sufficient amount of data to allow for trend analysis. And this guideline is not new, my dear friends. This is very old guideline. But I just want to put your thought or focus with this requirement. So here, this is the requirement that most of the companies, they follow the annual one batch. But okay, and unless and until there is any information is given, one batch is in okay for annual or ongoing stability study. But but if suppose you are manufacturing a lot of batches of specific product, for example, if in a month you are manufacturing suppose 30 to 40 batches, and like that you may be manufacturing more than 400 500 batches in a year, then how you can charge only one batch as a ongoing stability study? Because you will not get a sufficient amount of data for trend analysis. Please try to understand this thought. Okay, this is what you need to put a thought when you are think or evaluating about the ongoing stability study or annual stability study. So always one batch for annual study will not solve the purpose, because you have to think about that. You need to have sufficient data for trend analysis. Got your point? Got my point? That is the reason I told you that where there is a companies they are lacking, I will put more focus and we will discuss in more detail. Okay. Now, again, this point also I want to share a thought. First 3-4 lines many companies are following. You can go through this slide, 3-4 lines many companies are following. There will be some, the delay. Now I think the slide is visible to all of you. So out of specification or significant atypical trends should be investigated. Okay, no problem. Any confirm out of specification result or significant negative trend affecting product batches released on the market should be reported to the relevant competent authorities. So okay, if it is a confirmed OS, it is impacting on the market release product, of course most of the companies they will report to the competent authorities. But if there is a significant negative trend companies may not report to the authorities, and there they will be under non-compliance here, because this is as per this guideline. Hope you got my point. Now here one point I just want to touch upon, that if the product shelf life is suppose 36 months, so most of the company, what they do, they perform the long term stability study or annual stability studies for 1 year extra. So instead of 36 months, they will perform the long term stability study for 48 months. And suppose the product fails, or there is a confirmed OS at 48 months, still the company should inform this failure to the competent authorities. If you are not informing in such a scenario to the competent authorities, then you are likely to have the actions by the competent authorities. Hope you are clear with these requirements. Okay, I am explaining you all the things, right? So many people will ask that what is out of trend. So what is out of trend? Basically, the definition is a time dependent result which falls outside a prediction interval or fails a statistical process control criteria is called the out of trend. Okay, now what does it mean? It means that even on the same principle what I am going to discuss, on the same principle the computerized systems nowadays they are developed. So for example, let us take the example of pH of a solution. So the limit of the pH of the solution is, let us say, 5 to 9. The pH limit of the particular solution is 5 to 9. And suppose first 9 to 10 batches you are getting the pH of 7.4, 7.3, 7.9, 7.4, and suddenly you got the pH of 6.1. Then that 6.1 is a time dependent result, and it is falling outside the prediction, because normally prediction is what, 7.2, 7.4, 7.8, right? And suddenly you got the pH 6.1, it will be considered as the out of trend. But after that, suppose the next all batches are having 6.1, 5.9, 6.3, 6.4, then all the next results will not be considered as out of trend. But after some time, if again you are going to get the result as 7.3 or 4, in that case this value 7.2, 7.3, earlier, as per earlier trend, it was considered normal, but considering the current time dependent result, it will be considered as a out of trend. Hope you got my point. That is it. I always request all people to please go through this recording, basically not only to read the slides, because I am discussing lot of examples and all, so you will not understand the things, so please understand this thought. So please don't only go on slides, please listen what I am telling all the things. Okay, so this definition I thought I need to clear all to all people, so I discuss here. So there is another guideline requirement with respect to the annual product quality review, and where of course you know that the annual product quality review requirement, and under annual product quality review we need to perform the trending, correct? So what is the objective of the PQR or annual product quality review? Verifying the consistency of the process, appropriateness of the current specifications, of course for a starting materials and finished product, and highlight any trend, this here only I want to focus here. This is the guideline requirements as per whatever I have mentioned here, utilize volume 4. You can go back and refer the guideline. So my point is here, what is the objective of the annual product quality review? Highlight any trends. What does it mean? It means that when you are preparing the annual product quality review and you are doing the trending, and if you come to know that some point is out of the trend or moving away from the trend, you have to specify the comment, you have to identify, you have to specify, write it, that uh, you know uh, this this point particular to the batch and all, it is found away from the trend, then that has to be evaluated. That is what the expectation. But most of the annual product quality review what I have reviewed, what happened, trending, everything, color graphs and all will be there, but if any out of trend values will be there, it is not evaluated basically. You got my point? So it is not evaluated. So that is what I request all the people, that whenever you are preparing the trending during annual product quality review, this is the objective of annual product quality review as per the guideline. So if any out of trend is there, you have to highlight, you have to specify the comment there below the trending, that this is what is observed, it is evaluated, you need to evaluate it, whether it is impacting on the product quality, that you need to evaluate. Hope you got my point. And of course, the adverse trend in stability monitoring program also need to be evaluated. So if there are some adverse trend in the stability study monitoring program, then that also you need to evaluate during the annual product quality review. Hope everyone is clear with this. Now let us discuss about some FDA requirements. And when I am discussing about the FDA requirements, means the FDA requirement with respect to the process validation. And you will come to know that when we will discuss about the FDA requirement related to the process validation, all the things, all continue, that guideline will be, rotate or, move, discuss about the variability and trending and statistical analysis. Hope you, if you gone through this guideline, you will come to know. This guideline is for the process validation guideline by FDA. So here, the point here is, as per FDA, an ongoing program to collect and analyze the product and process data that relate to product quality must be established. The data collected should include relevant process trends and quality of incoming materials or components in process materials, finished product. The data should be statistically trended and reviewed by the trained personnel. So basically, when we are discussing about the FDA and specifically to the process validation guideline, this trending is very, very important with respect to the FDA guideline for the process validation. As I am not discussing much about here, about the FDA guideline and statistical process, trending and statistical process evaluation and all. The reason is, it is a big topic. It is under the continuous process verification, CPV. Okay, so if you are interested, I will take another session on the continuous process verification. We recommend that the quality unit meet periodically with production staff to evaluate data. Here, this is lacking everywhere. Most of the companies, whatever I am presenting here, my dear friend, it is exactly in line with the guideline. Exactly. And guideline words are same. We recommend. We recommend means what? In FDA guideline, they specify, so I didn't change anything else. So FDA recommend that the quality unit meet periodically with production staff to evaluate the data, discuss possible trends or undesirable process variation, and coordinate any correction or follow-up actions by production. This is the requirement. But if I ask you that, if I am doing the audit in your facility for compliance to the FDA, as I am performing the mock audits or a gap audit also, and if I ask you this is the requirement, show me the documentary evidence that you meet periodically, or show me your procedure SOP that you meet periodically with the production and evaluate the data and discuss the possible trends or undesirable process variations, and then you will coordinate during the meeting for any corrections or follow-up actions by the production. Do you have the procedure and do you have the record? The answer for most of the companies will be no. will be no. That is the reason I am highlighting this point to all of you, and please share this to all your colleagues so that they will come to know. Maybe you may not be able to implement in your organization, but at least when you share this with your manager and the senior people, of course they will able to implement this thing. This is exactly black and white requirement by the FDA, very clear requirement. Transparently FDA has given this. Okay, and I know that most of the companies are not complying this requirement. Okay, the next is with respect to the kappa, and this information is given under guideline ICH-Q10. Okay, so as per this kappa guideline, so I change, once I change the slide, there will be some couple of seconds delay will be expected, so please bear with me. It is not due to me, actually it is due to some, the interface. Okay, so as per the kappa requirement for ICH-Q10 system, the kappa system, the pharmaceutical company should have a system for implementing the kappa resulting from the investigations of the complaints, product rejections, non-conformance, recalls, deviations, audits, regulatory inspections and findings and trends. Now here the point is trends. My question is, how many companies, you might have visited also the most so many companies, right? So you will find the kappa for all, kappa for complaints, product rejection, non-conformity, recall, deviations, everything. But can you tell me a single company where kappa is raised as a result of trend, as a result of trend analysis? Till date, I have audited more than 500 sites. I already told you, every month I am performing 6 to 7 audits, third party audits. So my point here is, I could not come across the kappa originated as a result of trends. Okay, this is what the expectations. I directly put the guideline displayed here to put your thought here. Okay, so now next is with respect to the specific requirements about the trending. Why we need to prepare the trending? So there are some specific things. So I thought I will share with you. Of course, it is also in line with the guideline only. So the this requirement is for the with respect to the data integrity requirement by MHRA. Okay, whatever I am presenting, good, I am finding the very good questions, lot of questions are there. I will reply to you at the end of the session. Please go on putting your questions. Okay, so to present the data integrity status, when you are presenting the status during the management review, okay, you need to present the trending of aberrant result data to the management. So whatever the aberrant result means, what, any out of trend or any sudden, away from the normal routine trend is there, that also should be presented during the management review. This is the exact guideline requirement as per the MHRA. But when we will find the management review procedure for most of the companies, this point will be lack in their management review meeting. So in the management review meeting, during management review meeting, any aberrant results trending is observed or not, that has to be discussed as a part of the data integrity status presenting to the management. Okay, and second, about the the uh, product design. So product design, you are all aware about the quality by design concept, right? So under the quality by design concept, there are two specific terminologies. One is a minimal QBD approach, and second is a enhanced QBD approach. So when we discuss about the enhanced QBD approach, you can use a PAT tools, process analytical technology, so that you can support a continual improvement, right? So here, how you can support the continual improvement? by performing the trending and tracking the process operation. So these are some specific requirements. So I took these requirements in a different way while discussion, so that you should come to know about the requirements. Okay. So this is what I was discussing here about the specific requirements and all. Now most of the companies or most of the people, they have the question about the variability. The reason is this variability terminology is repeatedly coming nowadays in in the FDA requirement, FDA process validation guidelines. So if you go through the FDA process guideline requirement, you will come to know that there is a continuous this terminology about the variability. So what is meant by variability, that is now presented on the screen. So simple, I am explaining you about the variability so that you will able to implement correctly the continued process verification uh, in your organization. Okay. So for example, if you are following the process A to B, let us see, no, X, or sorry, not A to B, because I put A, B here, some different notations here. Suppose you need to perform a process, right, straight away. So you will get a product A. But suppose what happened if there are some changes with respect to the input materials, changes with respect to the operations, changes with respect to some slightly operating parameters, of course within the limit, but there will be limit, right? So in the limit also, when you are operating with the different values, then what happened? Instead of product A, you will get the unexpected results. Means you will get the same product, but that product B will have slightly different characteristics as product A. So as there is some change or variation between A to B, it is called a variability. This is called a variability. So basically variability occurs when what is actually done is not equal to what is expected to be done. So when we are not uh, following actual practice, that what is expected to be done, and we are actually doing something different, then there will be definitely the variability. When the same activities produce different results, you will come to know that there is a variability. And that is the reason FDA expects, as a part of the process validation guideline, that you need to evaluate the variability, cause of the variability, and you have to take the actions to reduce the variability. Okay. So variability can occur with all GMP activities if procedures are not followed. So variability is not only with respect to the process. That is what I want to tell you. It is with respect to all the GMP activities. So that you need to control as a FDA expectation, US FDA. When I'm using the word FDA, means US FDA expectations under the process validation guideline to control the variability. Hope you got my point here. Variability means what? In simple terminology, you can say a small change or maybe small departure or small deviation can lead to the variability. Simple language I am explaining you. Very simple language. Right? So, you know, this is the meaning of the variability. Now the question is how we should perform the trending. That is the point now. How we should perform the trending. What happened? Many companies, they prepare the trend. Means, they have the standard protocol. Department wise, test wise, as per the test, as per the material, as per the area, trending is prepared. But when we are preparing the trend, we should put a thought that when I am preparing the trend, I should able to identify a off center process. Means a process which is away from the center. I should able to identify a process which may be away from the center. How I will able to identify? That thought should be there when I am preparing the trending. And second thing, when I am preparing the trending, I should able to identify the intra and inter batch. Intra batch means what? Within a single batch and within the multiple batches, variations or variabilities I should able to identify. So when I am preparing the train, please focus that I should able to op center, I should able to identify the op center process. And second thing, that I should able to identify the intra batch and inter batch variability, because this is not my expectation, this is the expectation by FDA. Okay, hope you are clear with this. So whenever, because what happened, this trending of deviations will be some different thoughts, trending of complaints will be with the different thoughts, trending of um, trending of you can say the non-conformities will be different thoughts, trending of some process parameters will be with the different thoughts. So so when you are preparing the trends for OS, it will be different, deviations for trend different. But my point is, when you are putting the trend, your thought process should be with respect to the identifying the out of the process any trend is there, and second is whether there is a intra or inter batch variations. Now simple example I have mentioned here so that you will come to know in a better way about the how to prepare a trending. Suppose there are the batches A to M and there is a assay. There is a assay and the trending is done. So when I am preparing the trending, what happened when I am preparing trending, there will be the upper control, upper specification limit, lower specification limit, mean, correct? And there will be the 1 sigma, 2 sigma or 3 sigma control, correct? So now if any point is, drifting, you should able to identify that there is some problem in the process, or if any value is close to the upper specification limit, then you should able to identify that the trend values. Okay, so that means what you will able to identify about the now we are discussing about assay, because assay is the critical quality attribute. So we will able to identify that adverse evaluation. You're getting my point? Don't worry, don't worry about that, because similar examples, there are total 8 different examples I am going to discuss today. Okay, I just took one example about the assay, that how to prepare the trend, and don't worry about that. Trending preparation is by using the normal Excel spreadsheets, but my main point is how to evaluate the trending. Okay, so that we will discuss with the specific examples, don't worry about that. So the I collected the 8 rules. Basically there are 8 rules, so let us discuss about the rule 1 about the trend evaluation. Okay, so now hope screen is visible to all of you, right? So now you can see here, one point is more than 3 sigma. Sometimes it happens that one point may be more than 3 sigma. So here you can see here 3 sigma is the upper control limit. So plus 3 sigma is the upper control limit and minus 3 sigma is a lower control limit. So plus 3 sigma means what? Mean plus 3 sigma. Okay. And lower control limit means mean minus 3 sigma. Okay. You can see that one point is more than 3 sigma. In that case, you can see that these points are out of trend and you have to investigate it properly. Very clear and very easy to identify. Correct? If it is sudden shoot, you can see the the points highlighted. This is a requirement by APQR, annual product quality review, to identify any out of trend or any excursion in the trend, highlight it. Correct? Remember what I was discussing? So these are the out of trend. So rule 1 is what? If it is out of the 3 sigma, then it is a easily understand that it is a out of trend. Okay, the next example I will put here. If you have any questions, please put your questions in the comment section. I will reply to you. Now here, the next is, there are 9 or more points which are in a row, but only on a separate line. Means you can see here, just a minute, let me verify whether yes, you are able to see the screen now. Very good. So now see, there are, you can see more than 9 points, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 points. All points are on the above the mean. All the points are above the mean. That indicates what? And all are within the control. All are within the, or all are below the 3 sigma level. So of course there is no out of trend, but you have to evaluate this trend that the product is manufactured at the higher side. The product, suppose for example, these values, whatever the values are, you can see the values, most of the values are on above the average, and hardly 1 2 and 3 values are below the average. What does it indicates? It indicates that, and suppose these values are for assay example I am telling, or suppose the weight of the tablet, or volume of the injectable. So it indicates that most of the units are compressed at the higher weight. Most of the tablets are compressed at the higher weight during entire run of the compression. During the compression, you are aware about that, or you are during filling of the injectables, you may be aware that every half an hour or 1 hour, the volume of the fill is tested, or weight of the group tablets is checked to verify the average is within the limit or not. Average weight of the tablet is within the limit or not. So, and that if you plot it, and if you come to know that most of the average values, either volume of the injectable or average weight of the tablet is on one side only, then it indicates that it is process is run at a higher side. Hope you understood the evaluation of this trend, right? This is the rule 2. There is another example of a rule that is called a rule 3 that I will present now. Okay. Now this is the rule 3. Okay. In rule 3, what happened? There are 6 or more values. These are in a row, but they are continuously in a same trend, increasing trend. They are continuously increasing. Hope you are able to see the screen. Yeah, correct. So this type of trend is there. So when this type of trend is there, you have to identify that the process is moving to touch the upper control limit. So slowly process is drifting from control to the touching to the upper control limit, or maybe in future it will touch or cross the upper control limit. So you need to put up thought, or you need to put a control on this. Okay, you got my point. So when you will have a online monitoring of these parameters, you will, and trending of this, you will come to know that you need to control the process. Hope you are getting my point. If you have any question, please put your questions in the chat box. I will reply to you. So this is what the rule 3, where you will get the continuous increase or continuous decrease. So this is the example of increase actually. So similar, you can have the example of decrease also, So it will help to evaluate that trend is increasing or decreasing. So based on that, you can work on the process so that you will focus that the values will be in a control stage. Okay. The next trend is rule 4. So there are so many points, maybe more than I think 14 in a row, but all are continuously moving. Okay. All are continuously moving. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, continuously. So what does it indicate? It indicates that the operator is taking the leverage of the operating parameter. Machine operator is taking the full leverage of operating the operating range. See, basically what happened, we assign a operating range, because a machine cannot run exactly on the same value, right? So we need to give some limit. So when we are giving the limit, it is unexpected variation, recording purpose, or you can say to avoid the out of the limit or out of the specification, we need to give the limit. But that does not mean that operator will use that limit for operation. Operator should focus on running the machine on a optimum value only. Optimum value. But if you find out this, like one is up, then down, then again there is a up, then again drastically there is a down, you can see here, again up, again down, it indicates that the machine is continuously there is a big variation due to the machine, or operator is fully utilizing the operating range to run the product. So if you identify that there is a problem with respect to the machine, immediately you have to put a focus that this type of trend is again the risky for the product. Now if suppose we will have some other examples, but here the point is why we need to put focus, because some points are touching. Now you can see here some points are touching or very close to the top 3 sigma, some points are close to the lower control limit, and some points are close to the upper control limit. So the point is this is serious as a part of the trend evaluation. This is serious as a part of the trend evaluation. Okay, because tomorrow or in future there may be possibility that if the person or the same equipment is used, that it may go to the out of trend. Now the next rule is rule 5. In the rule 5, so let me see whether the slide is visible to you or not. Yeah, now slide is I think visible to you. In rule 5 what happened, 2 to 3 are the points which are in the row, means closed points which are crossing the 2 sigma value. You can see that the points which are encircled with the red, they are crossing the 2 sigma. So what it indicates? It indicates that in that particular batches, or if it is with respect to the timing, if we plot it with respect to timing, then that particular timing there may be some problem happen where it is touching to the upper control limit, and you need to evaluate in a proper way, because as this is crossing the 2 sigma. Okay, so and it is consecutive is important. Okay, you got my point. Now see, there are some points, they are also close to the 2 sigma. Okay, now here you can see the second point at the left side, it is crossing the 2 sigma, but only one point is crossing to 2 sigma, and again it is controlled, it is again moving to the average. But here what happened, 2 points are consistently crossing the 2 sigma. So if there is a consistent excursion or crossing to the 2 sigma, there may be possibility that some units may touch upper control limit, but you are not testing the all values, right? Unless and until you are having the continuous monitoring system in your instrument or machine, then it is okay. But if you don't have the continuous monitoring system in your machine or the instrument, automatic monitoring, then you need to identify that particular area, lot, or the part, and evaluate in detail whether any unit is touching the upper control limit or crossing the upper control limit. You got my point? Because here consistently 2 or 3 points are in a row which are moving towards the crossing the 2 sigma. That is what you need to identify as a part of the trend evaluation. That is the rule 5. Okay, the next is the rule 6. Okay, so what is the rule 6? Please bear with me. There will be hardly 3-4 slides are there, so please bear with me. Okay, so this is the rule 6. What is meant by rule 6 now? Here 4 or 5 out of maybe 5 points in a row are more than one standard deviation from the mean in the same direction. in the same direction. If some points are moving, means that also consecutively 3 4 points, then tomorrow it may cross the limit also. So here we saw the earlier rule 5, where we found that there are 2 3 points which are crossing the 2 sigma consistently, right? Now suppose 3 4 points are there which are crossing the 1 sigma. There may be possibility that it may cross the control limit also. That is called the rule 6. So that way you need to evaluate the different trend, and in a proper way, rule 7. Now rule 7. Now you remember the similar sort of we have seen in some, I think, rule 3 or 4, where up down up down up down was there. Let me wait for 2 seconds. Rule 7 slide need to appear. Yeah, rule 7 slide is now displaying on your screen. So here what happened, most of the points are up down up down up down, but all are within the 1 sigma. All are within the 1 sigma. Then it's okay, because your process is under control. It is okay that your process is under control. It is not crossing even the 1 sigma. Okay, so somebody has put the question about CP, CPK and all. So I have prepared a separate training on CP, CPK and all. If you wish, you put a comment in that comment section. I will share a link to CP, CPK. So now my point here is, when these points are within the 1 sigma, then definitely your CP, CPK will be high. Without calculating, I will come to know, because all the values are exactly between the plus 1 sigma and minus 1 sigma, you can see. So exactly process is under control. Hope you are getting my point, right? And now this is the last rule for evaluation of a trend. Very easy to understand now. This is very easy to understand, the last point, where 8 points in a row exist with none within 1 standard deviation, 1 sigma. So many points directly they are moving left and right, which is not within the 1 sigma. So I just know what I told, rule 7 before this slide. Before this slide, all the values were there, up down, it is okay, and all are within the 1 sigma only. So definitely your process capability is very good, because process is under control, process is under centric. So all your process is focusing on the center, so it is very good. But here in the rule 8, it is something different. Now you can see 8 points here, which are circled with the red, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. You can see all are moving, but all are out of the 1 sigma continuously, either uh, crossing the 2 sigma or crossing the 1 sigma at a upper side or lower side. So this also indicates the adverse trend. This is also the indication of a adverse trend for the trend evaluation. So these are basically the normally 8 types of trend. So I thought that to explain you about the all this 8 types of trend, correct? And this is what our today's discussion on trend. So that is the reason I always tell all people that trend is your friend. So based on the trend, you will able to evaluate the all the things. These are my contact details. Okay, in couple of seconds, the slide will be visible to you about my contact details. You can go through this YouTube channel, Hitendra Kumar Shah. Lot of free learning sessions are there. You can go through that. Okay, and please, I request all of you to subscribe this YouTube channel, so that you will get notifications about the next training sessions. Every Saturday on the same time, I am conducting the training sessions. So please, subscribe this YouTube channel so that you will take the benefit of the free learning session. I have created the free learning platform. So let us discuss about some questions. And okay, so Mr. GXP training has told that I have shared the link for today's training in our company's WhatsApp group. Thank you GXP training. Because if you share this link to your company WhatsApp group, so definitely they will able to learn, and your manager will also come to know that yes, this point. Because what happened, some the people who are working in the company, they are more focused with respect to the different things, so there may be possibility that this point may get oversight by your manager and all. So with this training, this point they will be put focus, and they may able to implement. Okay. Lilac Iris, thank you for joining the membership. Welcome to JMP. Mr. Vinod Manda, no clarity in your voice. I think I don't know whether yeah, Mr. Satya is telling yes. Thank you. So I think it is now clear. I think there may be some problem in the voice clarity because during the discussion, some network issues will be there. So that may be the thing. So Lilac is asking the question, sir, should all data for CQA, critical process, uh, critical CMA, okay, critical manufacturing aspects may be trended and make capability process? Yes, absolutely. What we have to put focus that all the critical quality attributes, critical processes need to be trended. Yes, where there are the very low limit, for example, the impurity. Okay, impurity. So impurity limit may be not more than 0.1%. In that case, of course, you need to perform the trending. So please understand, trending and statistical analysis both are different terminologies. Trending, where you are trending and evaluating whether it is out of trend or not. And in statistical analysis, you perform the statistical evaluation and evaluate whether the process is under control or not. So the answer is yes, all critical quality attributes, critical process parameter, critical manufacturing attributes, everything, or critical material attributes should be trended. Trending you need to perform. Okay. One more thing I forgot to tell about the trending. The point what I forgot is, when you are preparing the trending on Excel spreadsheets, that Excel spreadsheet should be validated. Okay. Mr. Anurag is asking, I have already requested you for cleaning validation course on Udemy. Please prepare one course on QBD. Okay, I will prepare the QBD, no problem. Uh, Kindly explain CPCPK, Mr. Anurag Gokhale. Please, send your comment in the comment section, CPCPK. I will share a link so that you can go through the CPCPK. Okay, already I have conducted the training. Okay. Lilac is asking Pro Gamer OP, very informative. Thank you, Mr. Pro Gamer OP. Thank you so much. Lilac is asking, sorry, I could not pronounce your name, Lilac Iris, I think. What should I do if after the investigation of OT, I don't find the root cause of OT? This is a common question for most of the people, that they could not identify the root cause. So, my suggestions are, when you are performing the OT investigation, it should be immediately, because as per the UGMP guideline, immediately you need to perform the trending. When testing is over, you got the result, you need to perform the trending immediately. So as it will be the fresh results, you will able to investigate in a better way. Second, if you are not able to identify the root cause, so that means you are only following the traditional way of investigations, like review of the analytical results, review of the manufacturing results and all. You need to go for some automation to get more and more data. Definitely you will get the results. I always tell all people that if there is a problem, there must be the root cause. It is just like, if there is a murder or there is a crime, always definitely there will be the murderer or there will be the criminal always. Without a criminal, there won't be a crime, and without a murderer, there won't be a murder. Same way, if there is a problem, there is out of trend, there must be the root cause. Only thing we need to identify, we need to investigate. Okay, so for that you can make a different tools, make a use of a different tools. Okay, hope you got my point, Lilac, Iris. uh, Mr. Nilesh Upadhyay is asking, just confirming, if you have trained matching rule 7, then no further evaluation is required, right? uh, Trend rule 7. So let me check it, that what is the trend rule 7, because I forgot about the sequence while discussing. No, I forgot the thing, so let me check it first. Yeah, correct, Mr. Nilesh, you are right. Because you know, because here, no, all are within the 1 sigma. Of course there will be slight variations are there, and that small variability is expected during any manufacturing process or testing process, so that is okay. Okay. um, Thank you. NDSC training also require NDSRI. What is that NDSRI? Please elaborate it properly, Mr. Satish Kumar. uh, Anurag Gokhale is asking one question. All QMS events should be trended. Please tell for which QMS trend is necessary. If there are more than 3 batches, then only trending is done. Yes, my dear friend, if more than 3 batches, then only you will able to trend it. But for all the QMS like deviation, market complaint, OS, the failures, even product defects, you need to perform the trending. Okay. Hope now I think all questions are answered. And finally, before leaving, I again request all people to subscribe this YouTube channel and to inform your team members to subscribe this YouTube channel, so that they will also get benefit from this learning. Thank you so much, and ensure all time compliance. Thank you so much. If you have any question, put your question in the comment section. I will reply you after this training session, as I am now ending the training session. Okay. Thank you so much, and ensure all time compliance. Thank you.